All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we are going to rank the running backs in the AFC West. So let's get into that. And like I said, I think this was kind of hard to do, in my opinion, um, because there's a lot of unknowns with the backfields of these teams. Now, the only one that I really don't have any questions on is the Chiefs because of Isiah Pacheco. But, the Chargers, they got Gus Edwards and J.K.Dobbins now. They drafted a running back. Isaiah Spiller, you still have there as well. With the Raiders, Zamir White's going to be taking over for Josh Jacobs, and they also brought in Alexander Mattison, who wasn't very good last year with the Vikings. And then with the Broncos, there's some talks about, if they cut Javonte Williams, maybe. You got Jaleel McLaughlin, you got who made some plays for them last year, and you also have Samaje Perine. So I mean, it's tough. It's tough. Like I liked what I saw from Zamir White last year when he filled in for Josh Jacobs. He had some pretty good games against the Chiefs. Had over 140 yards rushing, which still haunts me to this day. Which I bring up once in a while. It's hard. This one was very hard. Now, I think Isiah Pacheco and the Chiefs, they should be at 1. But, with the Chargers, I could maybe see, J.K. and Gus Edwards, I put them at 2. Because, Harbaugh wants to run the football. And, they drafted Joe Alt, not only to protect Justin Herbert, but also to, help out in the running game as well. I really don't know. I really don't know what to expect. Javonte Williams, he got hurt. Not last year, but the year before that. So he was still kind of working his way back from injury. So maybe, if the Broncos don't cut him, maybe we see the Javonte Williams we saw from, before the injury. And how is Zamir White going to do over the course of a full season? With the Raiders, I mean, they're going to want to run the football, I'm sure. But you got a lot of playmakers. You got Devontae Adams, you got Jacoby Myers, you drafted Brock Bowers. There's guys you want to throw the ball to. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. And then with the Broncos, you got a rookie quarterback that you might be starting week 1. I mean, it's either going to be him or Jarrett Stidham. Because right now, it seems like Zach Wilson, he's either going to be the third string or he's just going to be off the team because he has not been taking first team reps. So, I mean, I guess, I mean, I probably still, it's hard. But I'm going to say, I'm probably going to, I probably lean towards, I'm going to say I'm going to have the Broncos last at the moment. I'm going to put them last because I don't know, like, is Javonte Williams not going to be on the team? Are they going to cut him? Is he going to stay? Samaje Perine, he was a good player with the Bengals, but, really didn't do that much last year for the Broncos. Jaleel McLaughlin looked good. I mean, it's a possibility he could take over and be that number 1 back. So, right now, that combined with, I just don't think the Broncos are going to be very good. And I don't really know what to expect, out of Bo Nix. I mean, is Jarrett Stidham going to start week 1? I mean, I'm leaning towards that's going to be what's going to end up happening. But who knows? So I'm going to have the Broncos backfield ranked last right now. Raiders I'll have at 3. I'm going to say Zamir White does play well for them and shows that he is the lead back. Because, again, had some good games for them. I mean, had over 140 yards against the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Like, that gets my attention. Can he do that again? We'll see when they play each other on Black Friday this year. So, I'll say they're at 3. But also, I mean, Alexander Mattison last year. I mean, Maybe in a role where he's, part of a committee, that might be better for him because as the lead back, he was not good. He was not good. And then like I said the Chargers at 2 just because I feel like with Harbaugh, they're going to find success running the football. And, Justin Herbert is going to play week 1. Right now he's on track to play week 1. So, and with Herbert, they're going to be throwing the ball too. Yeah, I don't know. But then, like, you talk about the Chiefs, and you're like, well, the Chiefs are going to be throwing it a bunch of times. But I know what I'm getting out of Isiah Pacheco. The guys that the Chargers brought in from the Ravens have injury histories. Although Gus Edwards did have a good year last year, but J.K.Dobbins keeps getting hurt. It's just there's a lot of question marks with these backfields. So I just don't know. But I just know I know what I'm getting out of Isiah Pacheco. So, and Gus Edwards was just a monster in the red zone last year for the Chargers. So, I'd put them at 2. It's just it's the Broncos are in a transition period. The Raiders, I just feel like we also got to see who the Raiders are going to be starting at quarterback too. With Minshew or Aiden O'Connell. So, we know one thing. That the Chiefs are the favorites to win this division. But, yeah, I think that's how I would have it right now. The Broncos at 4, Raiders 3, Chargers at 2, and then the Chiefs backfield at 1 with Pacheco. And Pacheco had a really good year for the Chiefs last year. But yeah, I did go through it because with Javonte Williams, so we'll go through them. So Javonte Williams last year, I think he had around 770 rushing yards when I was looking at his stats last night. Yeah, 774 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. He had 217 carries. So those were his stats from last year. Zamir White last year, he had 451 carries and a touchdown. And like I said, he had 145 yards against the Chiefs last year. He had 112 against the Broncos the final week of the regular season. Yeah, when he got his opportunities, he took advantage of it. 71 yards against the Colts in Week 17, 69 yards against the Chargers and a touchdown. When they blew them out, they won 63-21. So and he's 24 years old. We'll see. And then for Gus Edwards, looking at his stats, he had 810 yards rushing and 13 touchdowns on 198 carries. Chargers are going to use him a lot in the red zone. So, and if J.K.Dobbins, I don't really know what to expect from him just because he's dealt with major injuries in his short career. Gus Edwards is going to be the lead back. So, and like I said, I know what I'm getting out of Isiah Pacheco. Last year, 935 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns, 205 carries. Also in the receiving game, if I can get to his receiving stats, so he had 244 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. So yeah, that's how I would do the rankings. The Raiders and the Broncos, you could probably change them if you want. Maybe because the Broncos got a rookie quarterback, they're going to put more of an emphasis on the running game. I don't know. Only time will tell. It's just it's hard. So yeah, I would say Chiefs 1, Chargers 2, Raiders, Broncos are 3 and 4. That's how I would rank it. Probably lean towards the Raiders, just because I liked what I saw from Zamir White last year. But we'll see. Those are the running back rankings. So we'll go back to the NFC East, and we will rank the receivers starting tomorrow. So that's what we'll do. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think about the rankings that I had for the running backs. Let me know in the comments. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out all the other shows on the network. Give everybody shows some love as well. We got shows going on throughout the day, so make sure to check them out. Got a full slate of preseason games starting this week, Thursday through Sunday. So that'll give us some stuff to talk about. And yeah, so with that, I'm Kenneth Grunfelder signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.